A very good morning, my dear students. So, welcome back to my class. I have already taught you transitive and intransitive verbs, and I think you all have understood what is a transitive verb and what is an intransitive verb. Yesterday, I gave you a few sentences where I told you to identify the transitive and the intransitive verbs, and I think you all have done them correctly. Well, I'll give you the answers, and I shall also give a few more sentences to do today probably. Now what I want to start with you here is a topic that's in your book in this chapter itself, which is called easily confused verbs. Now what are easily confused verbs? At times we get verbs which have the same spelling, same pronunciation, but have different meanings. Okay, so I shall explain you all these verbs. Now probably in the video you might not be able to see the words clearly. So I shall send you a photograph of this page. I shall send a picture so you can see that and then listen to my video along with it and you will understand it if you don't have the book. Or else if you have the book, please take it in your hand and then listen to my video or watch it. Now the first word that you have here is bear, B-E-A-R. Now this is not the animal bear. Okay, it's a verb form. There are two words. There are two bear over here which have two different meanings. Now along with the verbs, we also have their past and past participle forms. Why are they given? At times you will find that the confusing verb is not in the present form. It might be in the past form. It might be in the past participle form also. Okay. So when I explain, you will understand it better. Now the first word is bear, which means to give birth. Again you have another bear, which means to carry. So bear, to give birth. Okay. So when a child is born, when a baby is born, that born word has come from bear. The present form of born is bear, which means to give birth. Its past form is bore, B-O-R-E. So bear is the present form, which means to give birth. Its past form is bore and its past participle is born. So in past tense we can write Sita bore Ram two sons, which means that Sita gave birth to two sons. So Sita bore Ram two sons. So the present form is bear, the past form is bore and the past participle is born. Two sons are born to Ram and Sita. Okay. Now again the same word but with a different meaning. First it was to give birth. Now bear means to carry. That means when we carry something heavy. Okay. So that is again bear. There also we say bear. Its past form is also bore but the past participle is born. B-O-R-N-E. So here like to carry, he bears the burden of his family. That means he carries the burden, he carries the responsibility of his family. Again, she bore herself with dignity. Now this sentence will be a little hard for you to understand probably. So let's give you an easy sentence instead of this. Bear, just remember, one bear means to give birth and another meaning of bear is to carry something. So one sentence I told you, she bears the responsibility of her family. That means she carries the responsibility of her family. Then you can again, if I change it into past form, then I can say she bore the responsibility of the family. That means she carried the responsibility of her family, which will be the past tense. And then the past participle is born. The past participle of bear, which is to give birth, is born, B-O-R-N. The pronunciations are also different, remember. So bear, when it means to give birth, past participle is born, and when it is to carry something, then the past participle is pronounced as born, B-O-R-N-E, born. So the responsibility of the family is borne by her. That means the responsibility of her family is carried by her. So bear is the present tense in both the cases, where one means to give birth and the other means to carry something. Then past tense of both beer is bore, and the past participle of beer, which means to give birth, is born, and which means to carry something, is born. Next word you have is fall. To come down from a higher plane. Anything that falls down. You all know the meaning, isn't it? Now falls, past tense is fell, and past participle is fallen. Now you see, fell is the past tense of fall, and then there is another word in present tense which is fell again. See, you have to be very careful when you listen to this thing. Okay, it's easy, but you might get confused. That's why you have easily confused verbs. So firstly, the present tense is fall, the past tense is fell, and the past participle is fallen. In the next case, the next word is fell, which is in the present tense. Okay, this fell is not the past tense of fall. This is the present form, which means to cause something to fall. Okay, so fell means, normally we use fell in order to mean cutting trees. When we cut trees, then we say fell, felling of trees. Anything that is standing straight. Now this is standing straight, and if it falls down, then this procedure is called fell. Okay, so normally trees are erect, they stand straight, you cut them and they fall down, isn't it? So from there the word fell has come, and this is the present tense. The past tense of fell is felled. The wood mafia felled the trees mercilessly. So fell word is mostly attached with wood, with trees. So whenever you cut the tree, that is called felling. So fell, past tense is felled, and past participle is also felled. So first you have fall, whose past tense is fell and past participle is fallen. Okay, and next you have the word fell as the present tense, which means something is straight and it falls down, and it is mostly associated with trees. So this fell, its past tense is felled, as well as past participle is also felled. The next word is hang. Now there are two hang. Okay, one is to suspend and one is hang, to kill by putting a rope. Now first, hang. Suspend means, suppose like we hang calendars on the nail. Something that you suspend somewhere. You put clothes on a hanger. So that is hanging the cloth, whose past tense is hung, H-U-N-G, and past participle is also hung. Now here the calendar hung on the wall. That means you put it in the nail and it is hanging over there. So this is one hang. The other hang, to kill by putting a rope. So people, when they die using a rope, which we say fasi. Okay, so one hang means to hang something on somewhere, to suspend something, like we put calendars, we put something on the wall, we put clothes on a nail or on a hanger. That is where we use hang. Another hang, the meaning of another hang is to die using a rope. So the hang, which means to suspend, its past and participle are hung, and hang, which means to die using rope, its past tense is hanged and past participle is also hanged. Clear? Next word you have is lay. Now lay means put or place something down. If I put this pen here, so I lay the pen, I lay the marker. So this is lay. Now its past tense is laid. I laid the marker. And then its past participle is also laid. The boy has laid the marker. So if anything that is put in like this is called to lay. Now another word that you have is lie. Lie means when we lie down to take rest, that is lie. Okay, so that is to rest, to put oneself. So simply like what do we do when we sleep? We go and we lay down straight on the bed. So that is where we use the word lie. Now you will think, now how is lay and lie confused? Come, when we go to the next part, you will understand. Lie, this word lies, past tense is lay. And where did we get lay? Previously, lay meant to place something down. So if I place something down, then this is lay. But next time when I'm talking about the word lie, its past tense is also lay. That means to sleep. Okay, when you lie on the bed, I lie on the bed to sleep. And if I say use this sentence in the past tense, I'll say I lay on the bed to sleep. So that is the past tense of lie. Once lay means once we are using lay in the present form, where we put something like this on the on a flat surface, that is lay. Next time, lay is the past tense of lie, which means when you put yourself somewhere, okay, to sleep. So that is lie, and its past tense is lay, and past participle is laying. The first word lay, the past tense was laid, and even the past participle was also laid. But next time we get the word lie, whose past tense is lay and the past participle is laying. Now lie, we use it in another word. There is another meaning of lie, to not say the truth, to say the untruth. There also we use lie. This lie, the past tense and past participle is lied. So he lied to me about his job. So that means he's saying a lie. So again, lie also has two meanings. One meaning is when we put ourselves to sleep. That is one meaning of lie, and the other meaning of lie is not to tell the truth. So see, all these words, they are having the same meanings, same spellings, same pronunciations, but the meanings are different. So this is what you need to understand. And my dear students, you have to read this again and again to understand. This part is very important for your exam also. And for you, so it is very necessary that you learn the meaning of all these words and you understand the meaning of them. The next word we will do, the rest of the words we will do in our next class. Just a few, 2-3 words are left, but I don't want to do them today because this few words I want you all to understand first. Then there are only 4 words left. We will do it in our next class, and then I'll continue later with whatever is left. So with that, I'll finish up today. Thank you, my dear students. Have a good day.